Almost home. CBS's Peter King at the Kennedy Space Center is following the return trip of Shuttle Columbia. How's it going, Peter?
Just fine, Steve. Columbia's rockets fired about 45 minutes ago to start the ride home.
Columbia, Houston, good burn. No trim required.
We copy and concur, Houston, thanks.
And Columbia's just passing over southeast Texas, streaking toward the Cape. The fog is lifted. The weather's just about perfect here as Columbia's 7 astronauts complete their nearly 16-day-long mission with touchdown in about 13 minutes. Live at the Kennedy Space Center, Peter King, CBS News.
We're going to break in here to Neil Sperry's program this morning at 8:24. I'm Ralph Baker in the KRLD newsroom. If you're in the Cedar Hill area and all points north and east, that loud noise, or as some reported, an explosion, it was the Columbia Space Shuttle breaking the sound barrier. Now, FAA and NASA has said that it comes from a scheduled flyover. It was supposed to be landing at 8:16. But NASA has not come back with any information, and that's very unusual for them to not go ahead and release information saying that the shuttle has landed. KRLD had a caller a few minutes ago that was watching through his binoculars. He had watched several flyovers, and he said that there were more debris coming off of the space shuttle than he had ever seen, and he did notice even a large portion that fell off of the space shuttle, and there were some vapor trails, but nothing else has been brought to our attention. There has been no other media release.
A loud impact. Let's leave that at that for just a moment. Carl, if you could stand by. Phil Chen, just could you describe, you're right there at the shuttle landing facility, describe the scene for me, please? I guess we've lost Phil Chen.
KRLD, Dallas, Fort Worth, our continuing coverage of an apparent disaster in the United States space program. The Shuttle Columbia flying over North Texas this morning, a little past 8 o'clock, at an altitude of 200,000 feet. That's close to 40 miles up. The speed, 12,500 miles an hour. Communication was lost at almost exactly 8 o'clock this morning. Many people reported hearing a loud boom in the sky. There were streaks of light flying through the sky, very visible on a day like this with no cloud cover at all. And NASA immediately declared an emergency. We are going to hear from NASA shortly. A briefing was scheduled.
This is the beginning of probably one of the biggest air crash investigations in history.
You've heard witness accounts all morning long here on KRLD.